Archie's in Norwich. Archie, what would you like to say?
Good morning, James.
Hello, mate.
Well, I mean, James, I'm just sitting here. I'm scared, James.
Go on.
I think it's the moral compass of the country that's at stake here. And I mean, you watched Cressida Dix on the television the other day, like all of us. I was watching it during your programme.
Yes.
And her whole demeanour was that she was uncomfortable about this, and that, I mean, she did not want to do this. Her chest wasn't puffed up. She wasn't proud to be representing the people going in for a criminal investigation.
There was a flatness to her delivery. I don't know that she's ever quite in the sort of Liberace school of flamboyance, but there was a flatness to her delivery that you're entitled to read what you're reading into.
And again, callers after that, said that this was now going to be the position that was taken. Now that the police became involved, because it had been suggested that if they were getting involved, that Lady Gray's report was going to be delayed. And I think it was Channel 4 News that night that said that, this now could be a tactic, that they could now get that to get to the weekend, to get to Friday, so that then it's still not published, it's over the weekend, and there'll be all sorts of stuff coming out. I mean, can you imagine the avalanche of press headlines if this was anybody within the Labour government? I don't even mean the leader of the Labour government, but anybody or any parts of the Labour government. And it wouldn't be anything about, let's keep everything in proportion. There would be an avalanche, and everybody would use every kind of expression. They would be coming up with new titles, for how criminal this is.
Well, there'd be it depends how much of a personality cult has grown up around the leader. The only people who are defending Boris Johnson now are people who really would let him, use their grandmother as a scooter. I mean, they're people who will never, ever, ever see anything. I'll read you two texts, incredibly, that dropped just while you're talking. One's from Tom. He says, please just stop going on about parties. It's so weird. Boris has been doing a good job in government. He's managed the pandemic well, and he's a good person. You just seem to be anti-Tory. Met Police are the most trusted police force in the UK. Your obsession with the Tories is so freakishly weird. And then this one from Darren. Deep breath, here goes. I'm sorry. I voted for Boris Johnson and I bought into his rhetoric. I've now lost faith in this government and politics in general. Now that I'm awake to it all, I've no idea where to look without seeing BS everywhere. So there'll always be Toms out there, right up until, the point that they're carted away. There'll always be Toms out there, whatever the politics is. The problem you describe is caused by the media, because there's not really anybody in the media that would be a Tom for a Labour government or a Labour leader, and that seems to me to be a really deep-rooted problem. Whew, so frightened. And normally you say, don't be frightened, this is the United Kingdom. But unless you are completely deluded, like my earlier correspondent there, unless you're completely deluded and you're literally texting national radio stations to say that black is white, up is down, and the moon is made of cheese, utterly ignoring the evidence of your own eyes and ears, tell Archie why he shouldn't be frightened.